Hi, welcome to another new episode of Photoshop Lightroom TV. I'm your host Marek Mularczyk from sitetraining.co.uk, one of the UK's leading specialists in Adobe Certified training, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Photoshop Lightroom TV, your weekly video podcast about anything Photoshop, Lightroom, Bridge, photography as well. Thank you for stopping by, thank you for watching. If you want to get more information about anything I do, please visit my blog, PhotoshopLightroomBridge.co.uk. I'm posting daily and you can find loads of information. For example, this week I started with some posts about the new Adobe Flash Player. Adobe have just released Flash Player 11, unexpectedly, okay? And I do some posts about photography and some tips, tricks, techniques in Photoshop and Lightroom. Any questions? Come to PhotoshopLightroomBridge.co.uk, send me a message, put a post, or go to my website, sitetraining.co.uk, and send me an email. You also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and on Google Plus as well. Okay, now let's start this week's episode with a video on. This video will be in Lightroom, and I'm going to show you how to export images from Lightroom and add watermarks to them. Okay, but without creating any watermarks inside of Lightroom, I'm not going to use the print module. We're just going to export images and we'll create watermarks. Okay, because remember, if you're going to put images online, if you're uploading images online, if you use Flash, the images are embedded within the Flash file, so they protect it. But because Flash does run on the iPhone and the iPad, most photographers nowadays use HTML, jQuery, or other JavaScript frameworks. But then, the images you upload can easily be downloaded. If you go to anywhere online, right-click on an image and you can save it, or you can even drag and drop it onto your desktop. So what you can do is to watermark your images. And I'm going to show you how to do that quickly and easily in Lightroom. I've got this image here that I want to export. Okay, the landscape shot I took a number of years ago in Poland. I will tell you when. 1999. Yeah, 1999. Okay. I've already added this image to the collection of best landscapes. Okay, so that's one of the best landscapes. And I'm going to export this image with watermark. So I'm just going to press G key back to here. I'll make sure the image is selected. So it reads one selected. I only want to export one image. And I'm going to click on export button here in the bottom left corner in the library module. Now I've got some preset already created. I want this image to be 1200 pixels on the longer side. So what I did here is exporting the image to the desktop. I don't want to put it in a subfolder because I'm only exporting one image. Scrolling down, I'm not going to rename it, no, that's fine. In the file settings, I'll export as a JPEG, sRGB color space because it goes online. Quality 80%, that's fine. I can always change it if I want to. Then I'm resizing the image to 1200 pixels on the longer side. I've typed in 1200 here and here because if the image is portrait, I want it to be 1200 pixels high instead of width. Resolution 72, that's the screen resolution for screens, portable devices and computers. I don't want to sharpen it, no, and I'm going to add a watermark. I'm going to show you how I created this watermark here. So I'm going to click on this drop down menu, and now I'm highlighting the watermark I want to use, and I'm going to click on edit watermarks. The watermark is embedded on top of the image here. Okay, it's not on the actual image. And what I did here is I've typed in some text here in the bottom left corner, Marek Mularczyk photography. Okay. I'll use the font Aparajita, regular, centered. Okay. Then I added a tiny shadow. You won't see it in here, but if we have a light background, you'll see that. Just going to move that. Yeah. In here. Then I've added the watermark effect. I'll left it semi-transparent, so I'll lower the opacity. You can see how it changes. I don't want it to be too visible. So I'm just going to change that, let's say, okay, I'm just going to leave it as it was. I think it was 25. Then you can resize it, okay, you can make it bigger or smaller. I've set it to 18. So that's where you set the size for the font, not in here, okay? And then you can anchor it. So I could put it on the top. Now you can see the shadow, okay, on the text here, or in the center. I've actually positioned it near the bottom here. Okay, I'm just going to cancel that because I've already saved it. And finally, I want to open it in Photoshop CS5. In this case, I'm going to do nothing. I'm just going to export it. So I'll click Export. And now Lightroom is exporting one file. It's already exported it. So I'm going to jump to my desktop. That's the image here, Pin02. I'm just going to open it just to show you what's happening here. I'm going to preview it in Photo Viewer. And as the image, it's 1200 pixels on the longer side. It's got a watermark embedded on it, and as the image of the sunset. This is one of the images that goes on my new website, Mar Photos, marphotos.com, with my photography. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on exporting image with watermark from Lightroom. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial in Lightroom. Now, the next tutorial will be a reply to one of the emails I have recently received. I've got an email from Charlotte, NC, I'm guessing somewhere in the US, probably. Not sure, I don't know. And she says, I just watched one of your training videos on YouTube. It was very helpful. She loved it. And it says it was the one regarding watermark in multiple images in Photoshop and Bridge. Yeah, that was Bridge. Okay. Now the questions are, first, how did you type that copyright symbol? Okay, so I'm going to show you that. And then, are these watermarks now saved on individual images or just a contact sheet? I want to simply watermark each image but be able to use them or post them individually. Is this possible? Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you now in Adobe Bridge. I'll jump into Adobe Bridge and I'll explain these questions in detail. Here I am inside of Bridge, and this time I'll be talking about watermarks in Bridge, especially the copyright symbol and how it and what happens with the images. Now the watermark we're going to create here will appear on the PDF documents. Okay, so I'm in the Bridge. I'm in the output module. And I've selected the images first. I've got 9 images here. Yeah, so say 9 images, 9.95 megabytes. In the output section, I've set it to a PDF. For the template, I'm going to use 4x5 contact sheets. And then I'll set the page preset to international paper, that's fine. A4 size, portrait, quality 150 ppi, that's the quality used for contact sheets. I'm just going to refresh the preview to see what it looks like. Because I only have 9 images, I'm going to change the layout to just 3 columns. Here, I've got 4, so I'll make it 3 columns. Let's make it 4 rows. I'll refresh the preview once again, which is just recreating the preview. Okay, now I'm going to go straight into the watermark section. So in here, I'm going to add watermark, and I'm going to place it on each image. Now this doesn't place the watermarks on the actual images that I'm using. This will only appear on the contact sheet. So these images, the originals here, are intact. That's the answer to the first question, or actually the second question. So this only appears on the PDF. It doesn't appear on the actual images, on the actual JPEG files. Now I'm going to use some text, and I'm going to type in here copyrighted. And I'm going to add a copyright symbol. As I stated in my previous tutorial, is the Alt key and then 0169, but it's a 0169 on the numeric keypad. Sorry about that. It's the numeric keypad that's usually on the right hand side on your keyboard. If you don't have a numeric keypad, for example if you're on a laptop, you hold the Alt key and you hold Function key at the same time, FN key. On my laptop it's in the bottom left corner of the keyboard next to the Control key. On some other keyboards it may appear next to the Delete key. You'll find it. It's the FN key. So you hold FN, Alt, and then you type in 0169. And that's how you add copyright symbol in Bridge, or not just in Bridge, in any application. Now if you're on a Mac, you would use G instead for the copyright symbol. Okay, and that's how you add copyright symbol in Bridge on the as a watermark on the images. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Welcome again. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial in Bridge. Now we're almost done for today. We actually are done. Yeah, we have our 2 tutorials. Now our this week's tip of the week will be in photography, and well, kind of tip of the week, kind of some discussion about photography. I've had some discussions about photo equipment recently with some friends and some people, and it's a very common issue or challenge nowadays to decide what equipment to buy, especially when it comes to lenses. There are so many different lenses from different manufacturers. For example, I'm a Canon user and I've used loads of different lenses in the past. I've used the Canon lenses and Sigma lenses. I've got some friends who use Tamron lenses. There's so many lenses. So which one to choose? Well, what I would suggest is do some research, have a look online, read some tests or reviews, because it depends what you're really looking for in lens. Do you really want a lens that gives you fantastic optical quality? Do you want a lens that gives you good autofocus, fast, silent? This all depends. For example, I've used some Sigma lenses in the past and they give really good optical quality, really good quality of images. But I wasn't that happy with the autofocus. So, and I would say, don't spend too much money on the lenses. I've used L lenses from Canon in the past. They are excellent lenses, that's true. But now I'll switch to EFS 1785 instead of 1740. And I can't tell the difference in the quality of the images. And it costs like half of the L lens. Yeah? Yes, it is. It's not as fast. It's 4.0, 4.5 to 5.6. What the 1740 is 4.0. But it depends if you really need that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Join me on PhotoshopLightroomBridge.co.uk or join me on Google+. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. If you search for Marek Mularczyk, SAI Training, or MARER13, Marek13. Find me. You also find me on the Flickr. Okay, and I'm currently working on redesigning my photography website, marphotos, marphotos.com. So you will see some new version and new images on the website quite soon. I'll keep you updated. For now, thank you for watching this week's episode of Photoshop Lightroom TV. I'm Marek Mularczyk from saitraining.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to seeing you here next week. Enjoy the rest of the week, enjoy watching, and thank you. Bye bye.